Hey guys, thanks for joining me on another episode of Jack's Mechanics. Today just going to run you through doing a timing belt on a 1KD motor, 3 litre Toyota motor, 4 cylinder, turbo diesel, so on and so forth. So what it looks like, I've got a timing cover down there, a couple of bolts, one up the top, two up the top, sorry, a couple down there, but I will show you a bit easier access. You don't have to pull the hose off, but I might do just to make the video a bit clearer for you guys. So yeah, we'll get into it. So yeah, just pop the top hose off and the EGR cooler hose. Need to take the wiring out of there, so just set the back, just the clip, squeeze the clip in, or I'm going to use a flathead screwdriver one at a time and pop that out. And you want to work on a 10mm bolt there and there. Another 10mm bolt there, another one down the bottom there, right there, and then there's another one, a bit hard to see, another one under here, and another one at the bottom of the cover. So yeah, sorry, as I was saying, one down there and further one down there. I'll get the cover off and I'll show you exactly. The interval for this belt is 150,000, so it was done here in 2018 at 149. Now we're at 300, so we're going to be doing the tensioner and the pulley as well. We just got all the bolts out. You just want to pop the cover up. And then we've got access to our belt setup. So we've got our cam pulley here, our injector pump down there, our tensioner and our hydraulic tensioner pulley, hydraulic tensioner. So from the crankshaft right down the bottom there's a gear set up that goes onto the lower part of the pump, and then the pump drives onto the cam. So we need to set the timing. So we have some timing marks. So that one timing mark is here, this arrow, and there's a mark on the front pulley. I'll get it timed up and show you. Oh, there it is. You can see that right there. So we need to turn that round to essentially where this is. And to do that, we're going to use the crankshaft main nut down the bottom there, 24mm, and turn the engine over. So a slight change of plan with the tooling. Ended up using the 1/2 inch, and it's actually a 22mm, not 24mm. So 1/2 inch ratchet with a 22. It probably does make it easier taking this hose off. Like, you can do it, but it's a bit squeezy. So we've turned the engine over, and now that is timed up. So you've got your mark on the front there. You follow it through, you can see that that's timed. And we have our other mark on the injector pump, which you need a mirror really to see. If I get that line. So we've got the engine timed up, so you can see the mark there. That's on the injector pulley, lined up with the notch on the back of the gear for the injector pump. And on the top of the cam pulley, got our mark on the front there, and follow it through, and it lines up with our arrow. A little bit of change of plan with the tooling down the bottom here. It's actually 22mm. We ended up using a 1/2 inch because we couldn't find my 22mm 3/8 drive socket. That works alright. Probably better if you do take the hoses off, just for clearance and stuff. So now we can take our bolts out of the hydraulic tensioner. So there's one 10mm there that you can see, and then there's another 10mm sort of underneath right here. You can see it right there. So you want to just take those two out, and then this will come off, and then we'll take the belt off. Okay, so now we've got that off. This is loose. Just want to take the belt off. I'll show you. So this belt's done 150,000, and I mean, there's not really much wear on there. The ribs aren't even coming through. I've seen a lot worse. Not on 1KDs, so generally pretty good, but on other cars you can really see the wear on them. So really just want to change them at the correct interval, because obviously if it breaks, pistons are going to hit the valves and you're going to have a lot of expensive repairs, and you're going to have to put a time belt on it anyway. So next we're going to take our bolt out of our pulley setup here. So this one looks like 10 mil Allen bit, so we want to take that out because that will be getting replaced as well. So sometimes on the second interval it comes with the cam seals and the pump seal, depending. You might want to change them. You want to change them if they're leaking, that's for sure, but the old saying is, if it's not broken, don't fix it, is what we go by. So the amount of times in the past we would do cam seals and when they weren't leaking, and then they would come back leaking, and now we just leave them and they don't leak for a long time or forever, the life of the car. So we just leave those alone, bearing in mind we would be putting aftermarket seals in them as well. So yep, if it's not broken, don't fix it. And so we'll get that pulley off and we'll start reassembling it. So we've got the new tensioner ready to go on, and you can see the two mounting bolts there on the left hand side, that one and the one a bit further down. So you want to put that on first. This is the new N10 tensioner that comes in the kit. You put one bolt in and you can see that the pin is loaded up. So this comes how it is, like this. And if you were to not put a new tensioner on there, you wanted to reuse it, you essentially get your old tensioner, you want to put it in a G-clamp and try and put it in a vise so it's like held up, and wind the G-clamp in so it pushes the tensioner down, and then you want to put a locking pin in there so you can pull it out afterwards. So we've got the tensioner on, we've done our two bolts up to 13 Newton meters. So yep, sorry, as I was saying, 13 Newton meters. We do like to put a tiny dab of Loctite, blue Loctite on the bolts just to be double sure. And then with your new tensioner set up, I put a little bit of copper coat on there. Don't forget your washer on the back and a little bit of Loctite as well. Then you want to put your tensioner pulley on. So this goes obviously onto the rod of the hydraulic tensioner assembly. And you want to torque this up to 35 Newton meters. So we've got our pulley on, and our marks obviously are still lined up, they shouldn't move at all. Next step, probably we'll just give that a little bit of a clean out, that coolant there, probably with an air blower or something along those lines. And then we want to feed our belt on. So you want to feed our belt onto the bottom pulley because it's got the lip, so you put it on the pulley. Should also, this belt might have some marks. No, this one doesn't have any white marks. Some belts come with white marks to help you line up your timing marks as well. And then you can line it up there, and then line it up there, and then slip it on the tensioner. So feed it around here, pull it around this way onto the cam, pull it around, and then slip it over to the tensioner. So we'll see if we can do this one-handed. Okay, so up like that, you feed it on. I'm confident in my timing marks. I've done this many times. Not one-handed, to be fair, but you don't want that on there. Pull it around. Sorry about the light. Look at that, one-handed mechanic. Alright, our timing mark's good there. Confirm that we're good down the bottom there. You might not, oh yeah, you can't really see that too well. But we're still on the money there. I'll get the torch a bit closer. You can see right there on the mirror, we're lined up. So now we're happy with that. Push the belt on a little bit. So our two bolts are done up, our pulley bolt is done up, pull the pin, pop the pin down there. So next step, we're going to want to put our 22mm back on there with the ratchet onto the crankshaft and turn it over one full rotation. So just watch your mark, you go one whole rotation, and then double check your marks again, make sure that's lined up, and we can put our cover back on. So we're going a full rotation, we're back on there, and back on there as well, slightly off, but also slightly off on the top one. It's not one tooth, I'm happy with that. It's probably a bit of the angle as well that we're looking at with the mirror. If I twist the mirror a bit more, it'll look a bit more respectable. So now we just pop our cover back on and do all our 10mm up. They just got to be nipped up, and then but yeah, put it back. That's probably pretty much it. Put the hoses back on, and yeah, that's it guys. I'm not going to really bore you with the putting the cover on, and yeah, thanks for following. If you learned anything, please consider subscribing and liking the video, and catch you in the next one.